And then another.
Everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of the Blitz Morning Show. I'm your host. My name is Toby Brendel, and I'll be with you for the next 15 minutes. Tuesday. Everybody's Monday. Canada, it's a day after Thanksgiving. The States, it's Columbus Day. Jeez, time's going by so quickly. So quickly to the fact I'm turning gray. Nah, just kidding. It's because of my kids. But I love the little rascals. Alright, so yeah, it was our Thanksgiving. The sad thing being in Canada, we only get one football game, where you Americans who are listening, you get 3. And last night was actually pretty good. Drew Brees has become the official... how would you say, is the official number 1 overall passer of all times in the NFL. And I'm pretty sure some of you are going to be looking at me and going, where's this going? Because, well, your random tangents can flip-flop back and forth just like a fish out of water. But before you actually think that, let me tell you exactly what I mean. Okay, first of all, you can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can take a look at the stats and say, by Peyton Manning, you've been passed. By Brett Favre, you've been passed. One weird part about it is, you have a guy who does the incredible, probably still has like 2-3 years left, but then you have all these naysayers, the dingwads, the dill holes, the badamatuis, who are saying, oh yeah, but he's no what is his name? Tom Brady, there we go. Because Tom Brady has 5 rings, Brees has 1. Okay, first of all, if you just take a look at it and break everything down, the stats, the divisions, etc., etc., Brady has it a little bit more easier than what Brees does. And despite Bountygate, when it came to 2009, Brees actually did do pretty good. I'm going to give him credit for that. He does what he can do, and with the amount of stats that he has, if you want a passer, you always pick him for fantasy football. There's just no doubt about that one. And also, it doesn't really matter how many rings a person has, and when it comes down to that, you could be the number 1 player with the most the best number 1 stats ever, stuff that will never ever be beaten. Like, for example, Wayne Gretzky. What if Gretzky had it where he never won any Stanley Cups, but he had all these records? Would he still be one of the greatest of all time? Or will people take a look and say, well, Mario Lemieux has 2? Biggest issue with that. When it comes to sports, you have to realize it's a team thing. Everything varies from division to division, season to season. What you think should happen, or stuff like that, it just totally baffles me. Like with Brady, he's the New England Patriots have been number one in their division for so many times that they're expected. Where, when it comes over the Breeze, there's a lot more competition over there than anything else. I don't know. I think Breeze would do better and probably have more Super Bowls if he had just a little bit better team around him. But then again, anything can happen. Just like my fantasy football team. God dang it! So the one day, I didn't put Josh Gordon in, and I put somebody else up, thinking, okay, he's going to get more points. Josh Gordon gets 11, the other guy gets 3. On top of that, I lost by half a frickin' point. How pissed me off is that, guys? Half a point. Half a point. I just want to beat my head against a steering wheel. But then I get a concussion. Which, with the amount of brain cells that I do have left from getting hit in the head with a cookie sheet, I'm going to take these ones. They've been with me for almost 40 years. I got to cherish them with all my life. But yeah, 0.5 points. That is absolutely insane. Down to the wire. And the dumb thing is both of our, like, the person that was playing, their final guy and my final guy were on the exact same team. It just did not work out in my favor. But next week, the girlfriend and I play, and hopefully I can get a win. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind rigging it up so she wins. Shh, don't tell anybody I said that. But I'm still also trying to wrap my head around it, where I'm saying thank you for everybody that's listening, downloading, sharing this show. It means a lot to me. Every day I take a look at the stats and I just put a smile on my face. I showed one of my buddies who's been doing podcasting just as long as me, and he goes, "Oh, you're promoting more." It's like, no. He goes, "Are you telling people about the live show?" No. He goes, "How are you doing it?" No. Maybe people actually realize who the master of the Blitz Morning Show is. Me. No, I don't know. Let's kind of, take it, let's swing it, and let's talk about something a little bit more interesting and a little bit more scary at the exact same time. On October 17th, in like 8 days, marijuana is going to become legal in all of Canada. And, you have the pot smokers that are like, yeah, man, pot, cheesies, Twinkies, oh, yeah, Mountain Dew. I don't know what they eat or drink. I'm just can't figure that one out. But anyway, they're doing it so effing wrong. For the longest time, it was like, legalize it. Just get it over with. But then somebody says, instead of legalizing it, why not decriminalize it? That makes a heck of a lot more sense. And plus, besides, there was a show called Almost a Show Podcast, and one of the guys on it, he said that he was on a SkyTrain or something, and he says, you can tell who smokes it just because of the amount of stench that was coming off of this person. And I'm thinking to myself, great, you become legal, people are going to start smoking it, people are going to start smelling it. I hate that smell. I don't know when it comes to the actual marijuana, if it's going to be worth it. Times are going to tell, especially with the taxes. But when it comes to my province of Saskatchewan, the marijuana is going to be controlled by the Saskatchewan Gaming and Liquor Association. And basically what that is what the title holds. The problem with this particular company here in Saskatchewan is you cannot have alcohol and a naked woman in the exact same room. So, for example, if you wanted to open up a strip club, she cannot be naked with alcohol on the premise or vice versa. So it just does not make sense. And now you have this particular company or organization from the Saskatchewan government that's so far behind that now you have the legalization of marijuana. And of course they're like, well, we don't know what to do. We'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. It's like, you guys can't even get the whole freaking thing with alcohol figured out. How are you going to figure it out with marijuana in such a short amount of time? I don't know. It's going to be weird. One of the weird parts is this was brought up last year, I think, where the mayor of my town and the mayor of the town that I work in, both of them were trying to figure out how much is this going to increase our tourism just because of the marijuana scene. Estevan is probably half an hour, maybe less, away from the Canadian-U.S. border. How many Americans are going to come up just to smoke? But then on top of that, the issue is going to be the borders. That is going to be the spot where there's going to be so many sanctions, nobody's not going to know what to do. And I don't even think the border patrols are going to know what to do. It's going to be confusing as heck. Oh well. I'll come back in about a year and tell you the update and how it goes. Me personally, I don't do much about the whole marijuana thing, but it could be a little bit interesting to see how the marijuana is going to actually go. Yeah. Silly me, I tell you. Alright, well, did a pretty good show. Oops, sorry about that. Did a pretty good show today, despite me having a freaking runny nose and wanting to blow my nose, stuffing my nose with Kleenexes so it doesn't run. Run, baby, run. Ew, ew. I'm gonna start losing people if I continue to do that crap. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, email the station at theblitztalks@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at coffeeman_radio. You can also follow the station at The Blitz Talks. Facebook, exact same thing. Just do a search for The Blitz Talks. The Blitz Morning Show, on the other hand, I'm going to bring it back. It turned into the Uncle Show because I wanted to try something different. It didn't work. I somewhat got bored about it, but in a way I never. It's kind of really hard to explain. But if you understand me, you'll absolutely understand basically what I'm talking about. I'm one of those guys who has an idea, who will go hard. Yeah, I said go hard. For, say, 1 week straight. Use up all the content, then trying to figure out what to do. Because I want to be that person who's always on a go, 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 go mentality. But, sorry about that. I'll figure it out one of these days. Even if I have to somehow bribe somebody with Pop-Tarts to help me do a show. Anyway, tomorrow I will give a small update on the Toby versus Alex challenge. And who won last week's. But until then, thank you for tuning in to the Blitz Morning Show. I am your host. My name's Toby. I thank you. And please tell people about the show. Share it. Like it. Do everything you possibly can. Follow our Twitters, Facebook. Let's make this boom. And I will see you later.